Comrade
Okay.
Sekou Odinga was one of the most prolific, sincere, dedicated, and determined revolutionaries of our time. That comrade went from being a member of Malcolm's African Organization of Unity to a member of the Black Panther Party to a staunch guerrilla of the Black Liberation Army. He aided and assisted in the liberation of Assata Shakur, and he lost his freedom because of it. He engaged in several expropriation operations that we look back on now as tactical mistakes. But that comrade never feared the oppressor. Throughout his incarceration, he continued to fight for our people through numerous zines, educational pamphlets, talks, discussions, and armed combat in concentration camp environment. A lot of people believe that our struggle for liberation stops at the prison gate. It's simply not true. Prison is a socially hostile microcosm of its outside production. Meaning, if you want to know what's going on in your hood, all I got to do is look at the prison yard. Because the same contradictions that exist in your community right now, when you step outside your door, they exist right there on their yard. And them young brothers that just left your hood. The same economic, social, cultural, racial, ideological contradictions which face and oppressed people in society are magnified tenfold in the concentration camp environment because the veneer of patriotism and unity and sidewalk escapism does not exist here. That comrade wasn't merely inspirational. That comrade was special. Sekou advocated for the liberation of political prisoners in the United States. And I don't think anyone stated it more eloquently. Anyone that has been engaged in the process of transforming an oppressive regime to a progressive one, anyone that is engaged in the process of New African national liberation or resistance and have been captured, whether that engagement occurred prior to their imprisonment or while in prison, that's a political prisoner. Their imprisonment is by definition political in nature. The United States of America is one of the few industrialized countries that continue to stride the world stage claiming that they don't have any political prisoners. Yet me, Joke Shimajin Sa, Abdul Olabala Shakur, the comrade who just rested in peace, Sekou Odinga, Ben Wahid, I can go on and on and on, Leonard Peltier, or Sundiata Acoli. Man, there's so many political prisoners in this country that it begs the question, how is it that New African freedom fighters are the few freedom fighters on the planet whose people don't even know they exist? But by and large, if you walk down the street and ask them who was Sekou Odinga, the average brother couldn't tell you who that was. But if you ask him who 2 Chainz was, he could tell you. Or if you ask him who Drake was, they could tell you. If you ask them who Jay-Z was, they can tell you. But this brother sacrificed 39 years of his life because he loved his people more than he loved himself. I don't mourn Sekou's passing. His passing ignited a new flame in my heart. The fire of liberation, that torch that he held over his head and shined the light of freedom across the face of all humanity for his entire lifetime. I'm not finna let that flame fall. I captured it in my heart, and I'm gonna carry it. Sekou lives. He lives in me. He lives in you. He lives in everyone who loves freedom. He lives in everyone who loves New African people. And I'll never let him die. We have a saying amongst me and my comrades: we will rage on into immortality. Sekou has done just that. I can't begin to explain the depth of that brother's sacrifice or the breadth of his love for his people or the incessant hatred that he possessed for oppression and injustice. Hatred we should all share. A perfect hate, reflected by perfect love. When we came together, we didn't come together because we despised our oppressor. We didn't sacrifice our lives to this struggle because we hated the enemy. No. We did it because we love our people, because we love humanity, because we love this world. Revolution is first and foremost an act of love. Sekou exemplified that every day of his life. That man will give you his last piece of bread and go hungry rather than see you starve. I know that, brother. All we can do is follow his example. And hopefully, if historical circumstances allow, make our impact equal to his. But he would tell you he wants you to surpass him. I know him. I know what he would say. He would tell us to fight harder than he did, fight smarter than he did, to organize more than he did, to educate more than he did, to be better. I think each and every one of us can be. I think each and every one of us should be. And there are those among us who will be. That's all I want to say about my comrade, man. Sekou lives.
Shay.
Free the land. Free the land.
Free the land by any means necessary.
That part.